Welcome to the Adhocracy Show, the show for people who know you don't judge a TV series by its pilot episode.
We'll be right back. Welcome back. We're your hosts. I'm JD Melville.
And I'm David Landeen. And before we get started with the show, we kind of want to talk a little bit about what we want to do with this and why we're making it and why you're watching it.
Really, our purpose here is to talk about marketing, talk about creativity, design. Dave and I both worked together on several projects. We met at our current employer, a dental manufacturer, and we talked a lot about marketing. We'd talk about TV shows, about movies, and a lot of times we'd end up talking about the marketing thereof of those TV shows.
I'd come over and talk about a really good commercial or a really lousy commercial that I saw, and then we'd go through and analyze it, and we kind of did it so much that we thought, why not try and do this for everybody? Why not make a YouTube channel? I mean, if people can make a YouTube channel about opening toys, why can't we make a YouTube channel about something that's actually going to be helpful?
Absolutely. We jokingly started talking about, hey, let's start a YouTube channel. We have got some favorite YouTubers out there, and we were really inspired. And so really our purpose here is we're going to create a community. We're going to create a community of marketers, of advertisers, of creatives, of all sorts of artists. We want to really work with you. In fact, behind us, what you see are a couple of different frames. These frames right now have posters, a couple from French papers, as well as one from DCC, Aaron Draplin, and Adobe. I got those at the How Design, and really what we want to do with these frames behind us is we want to do design competitions and start featuring some artists.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be announcing those. If you go to our Facebook page or Twitter and follow us there, you can find out about some of these. And we are really excited because we figure if we can get some of the best designers out there and get people who really enjoy design, we can get some amazing adhocracy posters and designs that, you guys can have and buy, and we can sell stuff, and really just creating this community of people who like good marketing. So we want to start off with our show. This is our pilot episode. And so we're going to talk a little bit about pilot episodes. In television, for those of you who don't know, the pilot episode is the first episode, and they create it and take it around to different television companies and networks, and they pitch it to them and use that first episode to say, this is what our show is, and this is what we want it to be, and will you buy it? So really, this is going to be our pilot episode, and we're going to talk a little bit about our favorites and sometimes our not so favorites.
Yeah, usually when you get to a TV show, you have to give it a couple episodes in to really see where that goes. I mean, sometimes that first episode really is just we're trying this out, this is the idea. But those characters, the writing, everyone kind of falls into a groove. So we'll go through our lists, kind of go back and forth and tell you about some of our favorites.
So first off, we're going to start with shows that you cannot judge the series from. Maybe the first pilot episode, they had a different idea for it, or that just didn't, it was okay and they got on, but then over a few episodes they found their voice and they found their characters and they were able to get that. I'll start off. My first one that I want to talk about is Cougar Town. Cougar Town was made by the same people as Scrubs, and it didn't get a huge acceptance. It was talked a little bit about on the TV show Community, which was really awesome. And they even had a cross-episode thing. But it went for 6 seasons. The funny thing about Cougar Town is it's not about Cougar Town. The pilot episode is about an older woman who dates younger guys, and I think that was their original idea for what they wanted to do throughout the whole series. By episode 7, they had completely thrown that out, and they were now talking about a whole group of people who lived in the same cul-de-sac and were way too involved in each other's lives. And the great thing was they completely embraced this idea that we have gone away from our premise by, in the opening titles, they had a running joke where they would write a little thing in the opening titles about, we hate our title, no, this really isn't about Cougar Town, yes, we're still called Cougar Town, and then on the very last episode in the opening titles, they actually changed the name, which was really funny. So it's a great example of completely throwing out the original premise for something that does work.
So next we have, we're going to go into the sci-fi genre. Some of my favorites, Fringe, Supernatural, but the one I want to talk about is Doctor Who. This is the reboot series. I'm not talking about the old 60s. This has a long legacy. I'm talking about the reboot. This one, when I'm telling someone about Doctor Who, in fact, I myself, because of the fans of Doctor Who, I kind of stayed away from it. And finally I had some people closer to me that said, oh, you've got to watch it. Started watching it and I was like, oh my, this is bad. This is back to like Star Trek Next Generation stuff that I got made fun of for watching. But as you get into it, past the first season, actually, into the first season, you kind of start realizing what's going on. And in fact, people will usually tell you either have to get through it or just completely don't watch it. You start getting the writing. You start getting some really solid stuff. There's a writer on it, Stephen Moffat. He actually writes for Sherlock. Yeah, if you've ever watched the BBC Sherlock, he has some incredible writing. In Doctor Who, he does an incredible job of making you fear something that is that you wouldn't fear normally. The dark, statues, things like that, okay, well, I have a little bit of a fear, but it's unjustified. So Doctor Who is wonderful. If you're looking for one to watch, watch the episode called Don't Blink. It'll throw you into the game.
So actually, the funny thing is that the pilot episode of Doctor Who is the only episode I've ever seen of Doctor Who. So that's one that definitely don't judge the entire series by the pilot episode. Keep going.
I will keep going to the next one. We're going to talk about Parks and Rec. Now, I was someone who fell in love with The Office. The writers, I believe, of The Office were the same writers as Parks and Rec. And you can actually see that right in the first episode and first couple of episodes of Parks and Rec. When you watch it, it feels like, okay, this is The Office with a woman. I particularly haven't liked Tina Fey and Amy Poehler by association, really. But because when it first came out, I was kind of excited because The Office was over, and I'm like, okay, I need something new to watch. I started Parks and Rec, and I'm like, I'm done. I don't, this is all right. But as I got into it, and as they got into it, the writing became quite interesting. They didn't really put as much emphasis on the love stories. The love stories in it are really interesting because they are so fast, so quick.
It's not a huge build up to the wedding. It's like they're together, bam, they're married, okay, and then they move on from that, and they develop the rest of the characters well enough that they can move on from that, and it's not a huge, oh, we don't get to hear about this anymore.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the interesting things is that you have a whole set of characters that, really they can do one show about each of those characters or set of those characters.
Yeah, so I actually skipped the entire first season of Parks and Rec. Just didn't even watch it. Started off with season 2, episode 1, and I'm okay with that. All right, on to the good.
On to the good. So these are the ones that you can judge.
Our best pilot episode. Yeah, these are ones that you watch the pilot episode, you tell your friend, watch this one, you'll get addicted to the series. First one, The West Wing. The West Wing is my all-time favorite series. I absolutely love it, and Aaron Sorkin and Tommy Shalhoub created one of the greatest pilot episodes ever. It not only has the feel of the rest of the series, but it created the directing and cinematography style that they used for the rest of the series with the walk and talk and the one-shots and stuff like that. That when it was screened for the network that they pitched it to, it got a standing ovation, and they knew it was going to be a hit from episode 1. And that's why everybody should watch it. Yes.
Next, let's talk about Breaking Bad. Now, this one I fell in love with. I will warn you on this one. It gets dark. It gets pretty dark pretty quick, and that's because the subject matter of it has all the makings for a terrible pilot.
It shouldn't have worked.
It really shouldn't have. You've got someone who's over 40. You've got cancer. He's immediately dying of cancer. You hear this. And then he gets into drug selling.
I don't know how they pitched this. I don't know how why would an executive say yes? It's like, yeah, of course we want this guy that's, has cancer and middle age and sells drugs. That sounds like a great series to me. Yeah, let's put it on for 6 seasons.
But the acting in it, the writing of it, the way the twists and the plot. It is insane how quickly it pulls you in. And I watched the entire thing, the whole series. The way it ended, it ended perfectly. It felt justified. It felt complete.
That was a really good one. Last, we have Firefly. Firefly. Now we're talking about the pilot episode that was planned as the pilot episode, not the one that Fox aired out of order and then messed everything up and then canceled the series. We're talking about the pilot episode that Joss Whedon planned as a pilot episode. It's great. It's amazing. It gets you so excited for the next 10 seasons, and then immediately you get disappointed when you find out there's only 14 more episodes.
Well, the interesting thing with this for me is that I came into Firefly actually from the movie. I had a bunch of friends who were well into Firefly. They loved it. The movie came out, and they were like, it was a company that I worked at, and they said, okay, company party, we're going to go watch Serenity. Went and saw Serenity, and I fell in love with the movie. And I'm like, there's a series? So we went and watched the series, and I mean, I was already in love with it from the movie, so.
Yeah. All right, so there you have it. Those are some episodes that you can judge the entire series from, and some pilot episodes that not so much. And so this is our pilot episode, so you tell us. I mean, do you think you can judge everything from this single one? Probably not. I hope we get better.
Hopefully our writing and our characters develop a little bit more, and you fall in love with it throughout the series, but maybe. I mean, let's ask the people down the road. You, 5 years from now, a person watching this who just barely found our channel. Number one, what took you so long? Number two, what do you think? Have we changed a lot? Can you judge everything from this episode? Write it in the comments. Put it down in the comments. What we don't want in the comments is, oh, you forgot this series because this was good. I guess you can write that. I mean, yeah, let us know. Let us know what your favorite series are. If there was a great pilot, if there was a bad pilot, let us know what you think. Keep it civil. I am running to an end of what I need to watch, so I need some new series. So please comment, like, share with your friends, subscribe to our channel so you can get more of our videos. Also, make sure you visit our Facebook page and Twitter, and follow us on Instagram, and we'll be sending out some, find out when there's new episodes, give us some suggestions for what you want to see, and tune in next time where we talk about modern art or guerrilla marketing. See you then.